Before the release of Avengers Endgame, let's get to one more Infinity Gauntlet Thanos-related story as a little bonus, just for shits and giggles, or shiggles, because why not? Let's review Infinity from 2013. We begin our story on Saturn's moon, Titan, where one of the genetically modified parasite assassins known as an Outrider appears before Corvus Glaive and informs him about a planet named Alagullo. This information pleases Corvus's master, and the Outrider is sent on another mission. The task it was created for isn't finished yet. Corvus Glaive arrives on planet Alagullo and demands a tribute from its king. He reminds him that the last time his master was here, he reduced the world's population from millions to thousands. He asks again, where is the tribute? When Corvus returns, he reveals the decapitated heads of the Alagullians, which pleases his master, Thanos, the Mad Titan. The Outrider begins his search of Earth, more specifically Avengers Tower, for the tribute. Without one, the world will indeed burn. We are then introduced to the Builders, regarded as the oldest race in the universe that help shape and engineer species and civilizations. They are attacking worlds they believe no longer deserve life. Despite the opposition they are faced with, it is futile. They still manage to eradicate everything in their path with their giant ships known as World Killers. It's as if what was there never was. The Outrider reaches Attilan, home of the Inhumans, for more information, housed in the mind of Black Bolt. He is missing what he seeks. He must continue his search. On the floating headquarters of SWORD, known as the Peak, the heroes receive a distress signal from the Kree Empire, who were recently attacked by the Builders. Captain America, Abigail Brand, and ex-Nihilo realize Earth is on their path of destruction. They're headed right for them. Black Bolt awakens and attacks the Outrider, searching his mind. Despite being injured, the creature manages to escape. Captain America and Captain Marvel gather many of Earth's heroes and prepare to head into space to intercept their invaders before they reach Earth. Iron Man remains with the rest of the Avengers. The Outrider returns to Corvus Glaive, who has assembled the Black Order, along with Proxima Midnight, Ebony Maw, Supergiant, and Black Dwarf, also known as Cull Obsidian in the MCU, which was another name the Black Order was known as, the Cull Obsidian. The Outrider reveals that Black Bolt is hiding what Thanos seeks, and as a reward, he is killed by Corvus Glaive. Thanos tells his Black Order that invading Earth would please him. Right now, it has no Avengers. Thanos' fleet arrive at Earth. Corvus Glaive and his troops defeat the X-Men. Proxima Midnight conquers Atlantis with ease, and Ebony Maw defeats Doctor Strange. Corvus Glaive arrives at Attilan to confront Black Bolt, but his nuts off, Lockjaw. He demands for a tribute and explains that his master Thanos knows that the Inhuman King is hiding a secret, and Thanos knows what it is. Glaive asks for all Inhumans between the ages of 16 and 22, so he and his Black Order can remove their heads. He gives them one day to decide. The Avengers, along with other members of the Galactic Council, plan to team up and ambush the Builders in deep space to prevent their worlds from being destroyed. Unfortunately, they miscalculated, and they were outnumbered, which cost them a high number of casualties. Captain America, Thor, Hulk, and Spider-Woman arrive at a Shi'ar rendezvous point. More Builders are in pursuit, and the heroes decide to leave the ship and attack them head-on. The Shi'ar, along with Gladiator, are victorious, but it's only their first victory. Back on Attilan, Black Bolt enters a pocket dimension that was found by his brother Maximus. He summons the members of the Illuminati there, where he gives them the Terrigen Codex, which houses all the secrets of the Inhuman race. Inside is the information Thanos seeks. Black Bolt tells them that the tributes he seeks are a lie. The only one he really wants to kill is his son. By the way, Black Bolt can speak to the other heroes without killing them because the pocket dimension neutralizes his voice. Corvus Glaive informs his master that the Inhumans have remained silent and have not yet given their tribute. Thanos tells him to prepare his shuttle. He will take it himself. The Builders offer the worlds they are attacking salvation. If they surrender, they may live. The Galactic Council, the Avengers, Ronan the Accuser, Annihilus, and the Super Skrull talk amongst themselves and consider a surrender. However, Captain America convinces them otherwise and says he has a plan. Ronan surrenders to the builders, and the heroes lure the attack vessels away from the planet-killing ships, which are now wide open. The heroes manage to infiltrate one of the world killers and begin firing on the others. Just as one team begins to lose control, a second team, including Thor and Super Skrull, take another and fire, while several heroes and villains team up to fight Thanos' forces that have invaded Earth. The Mad Titan arrives on Attilan and confronts the Inhuman King, Black Bolt. Beneath Attilan, the rest of the Inhumans evacuate, knowing the end is near. Thanos tells Black Bolt that he and his Inhumans were given a simple choice, much like many of the worlds Thanos has invaded. Either choose the gauntlet where everyone dies, or sacrifice few to save the many. Pay a tribute. He will not stop until the head of his unknown Inhuman child is in his hands. Black Bolt decides to attack Thanos with his powerful voice. It ends up destroying all of Attilan, which had been hovering peacefully over New York City. At Orlan, a hidden Inhuman city on Earth's surface, we are introduced to a young healer named Thane. He is the apparent long-lost son of Thanos. The Mad Titan survived the fall of Attilan, but Black Bolt's voice activated a Terrigen bomb which had been planted by Maximus. It causes global Terrigenesis, which triggers a change in anyone on Earth with Inhuman DNA within them. Black Bolt survived as well and begins attacking Thanos again. The Mad Titan demands that he tell him where his son is. The fallout of the Terrigen bomb unleashes untapped power within Thane as well, which wipes out all those in his city. Refusing to tell Thanos the location of his child, Black Bolt is finished off with ease. Thane has transformed into something resembling his father, and is surrounded by the corpses of those he once sought to heal. Captain America orders a false surrender at the Kree homeworld, which had been captured by the builders. While the mighty Thor is kneeling down in front of one of them, he uses the opening to, well, create an opening. Realizing that the builders can in fact be broken, the heroes unite with all those who seek to stand against them. With the Kree homeworld free once again thanks to the Avengers, thousands of other worlds rise up against their oppressors as well. They rally behind what the Avengers started, and there is symbolism in it akin to other revolutions in history. There is even a moment when an alien race, having just beaten the builders on their planet, with the help of Captain America and the Hulk, raise a flag with an A on it, reminding me of that famous picture from the Battle of Iwo Jima when several US soldiers raised a flag atop Mount Suribachi. The Avengers are victorious in the end, and all the worlds are freed of the builder threat. However, during all this fighting, they get word that the Earth has fallen at the hands of Thanos. They had one job. Ebony Maw reveals himself before Thane and offers to help him control his new powers. He gives him a special suit that is strong enough to contain his abilities. It's a trap, however, and Maw captures Thane so he can meet his father. Thanos and his Black Order are in Wakanda, where they have been torturing Black Bolt to get information out of him. Ebony Maw contacts his master and tells him he has his son. Thanos leaves to kill Thane, and after it is done, he plans on bombing the entire planet with a weapon stolen from Wakanda to deal with this damned world once and for all, as he puts it. The Skrull, the Kree, and the Shi'ar all join forces, and their combined fleet is awaiting orders from Captain America. He tells them to jump to Earth. There is one more world that needs saving. The Avengers land and prepare for a final stand. Iron Man has given them Thanos' coordinates, and they close in. Beast, Namor, Mr. Fantastic, Black Panther, and Doctor Strange attempt to break into the room where the super weapon is being kept and disarm it. However, Supergiant has brainwashed Black Bolt and uses him to attack the heroes. The Hulk goes in for an attack on Thanos, but is swatted away like a fly. Corvus Glaive attempts to finish off Hulk, but is hit from behind by Captain America's shield. Proxima Midnight slashes at the Hulk and makes him transform back into Bruce Banner, before clubbing him with her staff. Thanos fends off the combined might of Thor and Captain Marvel. The Avengers fight valiantly, but the odds are too great. The hope of victory is slowly diminishing. Supergiant has fully charged the antimatter bomb, but Maximus arrives and activates it. Lockjaw is behind her and teleports Supergiant and the bomb to a distant planet. Like a complete badass, he woofs, leaves, and that bitch is blasted out of existence. Lockjaw got to have an epic one-liner before the kill. I don't speak in human bulldog, but I'd like to speculate some possible things he might have said. I guess your day's been rough. Boom! You're barking up the wrong tree. Boom! You thought I was a bulldog. I'm really a bloodhound. Boom! Let me throw you a bone. No wait, it's a bomb. Boom! Pug life, bitch. Boom! Proxima Midnight looks to finish off both Captain America and Captain Marvel in one swift move. Her spear is deflected by Captain America's shield and stabs into Corvus Glaive, who is finished off by Hyperion. Proxima Midnight and Thanos still remain, and the Mad Titan is struck twice by lightning bolts before the mighty Thor goes in for one final blow with his hammer. He is overwhelmed by Thanos, but Ebony Maw turns on his master and releases Thane, believing he can be worse than death and become greater than Thanos ever was. Using his powers, he traps his father and Proxima Midnight within an amber block. Their fate is worse than death, a living death. With Thanos defeated, the Avengers rebuild what was destroyed on Earth from the attack. Across the universe, worlds flourish once again and go about their typical existences, some great, others not so much. Ebony Maw has taken Thane under his wing, transforming him into something potentially worse than his father. The Avengers keep Thanos and Proxima Midnight under lock and key at their headquarters. His days of tormenting the universe seem to be over, or at least they hope they are, for now. 2013's Infinity is a solid storyline. It has a lot of epic moments and high stakes. It feels like it could be an Avengers movie if it wanted to be. The title may appear to reference the events of the Infinity Saga, the Infinity Gems, as well as the Gauntlet itself, but there aren't really that many mentions of any of them. The Infinity Gems are seen by the Outrider when he's searching the mind of Black Bolt. In the hands of the Illuminati, who had hid them previously, they are now essentially lost, but that was merely a vision, nothing more. The most notable references are ones made in the writing itself and not through visuals. Thanos and his followers give each planet a choice when he's searching for his son. They either pick the Gauntlet, which means they will all be killed, or the Tribute, where few die so many may live. The name Gauntlet is self-explanatory, if you are familiar with its power, and the fact that Thanos killed half the universe with it. He is threatening people by bringing it up again. The tribute, or offerings, are similar to sacrifices made in religion, such as the lives of animals or humans, or the act of giving up food or personal possessions to please a higher power, in other words, God. In the comic, these tributes are in the form of severed heads, belonging to young men between the ages of 16 and 22 in the case of Atlantis. But remember, Marvel is only for kids. Though I find the Thane character to be sort of unnecessary, he too is a reference to the Infinity Gauntlet. His left hand is said to be responsible for the death of his entire village, much like the left gauntlet of Thanos housed the Infinity Gems and was responsible for the death of half the universe. His right hand goes a step beyond this and can cause living death, which is why it traps his father and Proxima Midnight in the amber. Thanos' motivations return to a more nihilistic approach in this storyline, a step backward in my opinion after the events of the original Infinity Saga, and seeks out his son so he can kill him. He views the life and existence of Thane as a distraction and an annoyance. He wants to end him to simply remove this distraction from his own existence. It makes sense given his ideology, but I find it to be the weakest aspect of the story in all honesty. Thanos' Black Order, also known as the Cull Obsidian, were first introduced in this storyline. Infinity was published a year after the original Avengers film came out, when everyone was speculating about Thanos after that iconic mid-credit scene that basically introduced him to the world, introduced him to the mainstream audience that doesn't read comic books on the regular. The events of Thanos' quest, Infinity Gauntlet, and this storyline here, Infinity, were the main inspirations for Avengers Infinity War that came out last year. 5 years after the Black Order were introduced in comics, they found themselves in live-action film. That's really cool. If I were to rank each of the Infinity Saga storylines I have reviewed leading up to the release of Endgame, I would put Thanos' quest as number 1. Once again, it's the most focused and has the best writing of all of them, in my opinion. Infinity Gauntlet would be second because it's one of the most epic storylines Marvel has ever published, and the concept of the Gauntlet and Infinity Gems themselves are some of the most ingenious in the entire comic book medium. Infinity would be third. I think it's an outstanding Thanos story, and ups the ante by having Thanos attack Earth and threaten it with a massive bomb. Though his characterization is a little weaker than it was in the Infinity titles from the 1990s, he's still a badass and highly intimidating villain. Next, I put the Infinity Crusade. I enjoyed its discussion of religion and how it tackled it from every possible direction. I think it had a lot to say with its story. However, if you aren't a fan of these kind of preachy ideas, it might not be for you. And lastly, I put the Infinity War. It may be at the bottom of the barrel in terms of the Infinity Gem storylines, but it's still entertaining nonetheless. I think what drags it down the most, in my opinion, is its antagonist. The Magus is a cool character in theory, but his powers, motivations, and overall scheme are too confusing and vague for their own good. Well, there you have it. All the Thanos Infinity Gem related storylines I wanted to talk about leading up to the big day, the release of Avengers 4. Endgame is going to be epic, it's going to be grand, because it's destined to be. What Marvel and Disney have done over the last 10 years, spanning 10 franchises, 22 films, is unprecedented. How will the first chapter of the MCU, the Infinity Saga, come to an end? Will there be time travel? Will Thanos remain a villain? Will anyone stay dead despite the fact that the original Avengers will need to bring half of all life in the universe back? All these questions and more will be answered on April 26th. Much like you, I will be in the audience as a fan of these great characters and great stories. Here's to superheroes, here's to comics, here's to our fandom.